Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the We Run on Coffee podcast. I'm Marissa,
And I'm Erica.
and it's officially spooky season when this
Yeah.
episode comes out. Well, actually, it's officially spooky
It's
season
already
right
been.
now
Yeah. We
because,
told you guys last week, September starts spooky season. We've been
yeah,
here.
ignore all of my coughs. I'm
It's
so
also
annoyed.
stuffy season. I
It is
also sound
stuffy
stuffy.
season.
We're stuffy and spooky today. Get used to it.
Yes, I decorated my apartment last night with fall
Ooh,
decor, and it was
that's
really
fun.
late because we got back late. We grocery shopped in the evening last night, which was so
Oh,
weird. We
plot
never do
twist.
that.
Mm-hmm.
We always go like first thing in the morning on a Saturday or Sunday,
Yeah.
and highly recommend going early because there was like no produce left.
Yeah. That and like, was there a lot more people? I feel like people shop in the evening.
There was
Really?
nobody there.
Wow. Okay, well then that's good. But yeah, the produce.
I mean, I liked that nobody was there, but I hated that there was
Yeah.
nothing on the shelves.
Yeah, right.
But today we're going to talk about some spooky stories. But before we do that, Erica, what are you drinking?
Hello, guys. I'm boring like every week. But next episode, I'm going to drink something different. So just so you guys
Oh,
know, shout out.
yay.
And I'm excited. But this morning, I'm drinking my coffee because I literally just got up and took a shower and I needed coffee. So brown sugar, honey, espresso, half and half, the usual. What about you?
Well, I guess this is going to be my regular for a little bit. I got a witch's
Yes,
brew.
of course. You
I
got to
feel
throw
like
it
I
in.
can't remember the last episode I actually drank a coffee in, but I'm
Mm,
an exhausted girl these
true.
days. I don't think a coffee is going to help me.
Yes, you have had the Alani news every week, which I love. It's
Yeah.
very on brand.
I've actually because I've been sick this past week and well, actually 2 weeks, and
Yeah.
I've just been a sleepy girl because I haven't been sleeping
Mm,
well because of my sickness.
yeah.
My watch is really actually helping me see how that really affects
Ooh.
me.
Mm-hmm.
So I know we talked like briefly about HRVs on a
Yeah.
like previous episode,
Mm-hmm.
and mine is normally like in the green for what it is. It's not a high number, but it's higher than normal.
Yeah.
And then I saw it getting to unbalanced, which normally
Yeah.
for me means like, okay, you need a little bit more sleep. It's been low the past two
Mm-hmm.
days, and I'm like, I'm actually starting to feel better, so it's really annoying. I'm like, I guess I just
That
need to
is.
recover.
Yeah, I think that's a good indicator of like what you're using it for is a good indicator. Because you guys know I had like the heart issue for a minute. We were nervous, whatever. And then that doctor told me, he was like, my family doctor was like, your HRV is so low. It's so bad. Mine's always like 21, like
Mm.
literally so low. She's like, that's so horrible for your age. Like, you need to see a heart doctor. So the heart doctor, and he goes, honestly, girl, that is no indicator of a healthy heart. I'm gonna tell you right now. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. So I'm
I
like,
mean,
that
it's
makes
more of an
sense to use
indicator of like
it for
stress and
other stuff.
recovery.
Yes, it makes
Yeah.
sense to use more as an indicator for that than like, I got worried about it. And I'm like,
Hmm.
you don't need to get worried about it. He's like, you work out plenty. You're fine. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
thank
I
you.
mean, I work out plenty
Oh, you work
and
out so much. Yeah.
mine's in the 30s. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, maybe the 40s and 50s sometimes, but
Heck
not
yeah.
super high. I mean, it's been like
Better
31
than
the
me.
past 2 days, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
It's telling me it's
No,
low
I
now.
love,
So,
we should have a Garmin episode because I love the Garmin watch. Marissa and I bought them at the same time. We've had them for a while. We have not talked about them again, but I love the body battery. That's like one of my
mm.
favorite things to look at because I feel like
Mine,
it's so accurate.
mine's been starting at like 30
Let's
in
see
the
what we're
mornings,
at.
Erica.
Oh no.
It's so
Yeah, the other
bad.
day mine was like 17. I was like, I'm not okay. And I felt it. I felt
Yeah.
it. I don't know if you do this, but sometimes I just feel like shit. And then I look at my watch and I'm like, I feel validated. My
Mine
watch knows
got
I feel like shit.
mine got below zero the other day.
No,
It doesn't show negative, it just shows as
shows
like two
nothing.
dashes. And I was like,
Yeah.
wow, yeah,
Well,
that's
I just woke
true.
up and mine's at 66. I've
Mine's
lost
at
7 points so far.
49 and I've lost three.
Oh my God, I can't. Guys, why am I so scratchy too? I'm like scratchy and stuffy. I sound like shit. Sorry, guys.
That's okay. We're gonna get our
Apologies.
our throat clearings out of the way and probably
Hmm.
mute those.
Hmm.
Okay, we talked about what we're drinking. So, Erica, what are your updates?
All right, so you guys have a couple wedding updates. So this is what I thought about. I have stories about the wedding stuff, and then I have like updates. I'm gonna tell you the updates, but I'm gonna save the
Okay,
stories so we can do a
okay.
big wedding app like we did with Marissa because that was so fun. But two things. I got my ring back and it's so cute, you guys. So
I didn't
I'll show
realize
you.
how much different it looked until you sent me the
I
photo from the
know.
fake ring. Like, obviously, from
Yeah.
afar, it looks like the same. But when you
Right.
look up close, you're like, wow, that's really not
No.
a real
You're
stone.
like, that's fake. Yeah. You
Yeah.
can tell you guys. I'll put the picture on stories. I'll make sure to write that down somewhere with paper because I have paper in front of me. I'll write that down because I want you guys to see. So I've been wearing my Amazon ring and exactly like you're saying, like people didn't notice at first. They're like, oh my God, your ring's so pretty. I'm like, oh, thanks. This is fake. And they're like, really? It's so cute. So
And then they
pretty.
look up
And then
close and
you
they're
see
like,
the real,
oh.
yeah, you see the real one after and they're like, oh, didn't realize how fake the fake one was till you see the real one. The real one, like, I literally can't get a clear picture, you guys, because it's so like sparkly inside. Like not sparkly,
Hmm.
but like I can't even
I
focus on it.
yeah, like the clarity, is that what they
Yes,
say for
I guess
diamonds or
so.
whatever?
Yeah.
I
Which
know you're like
envelope he
asking.
literally picked out. I'm like, thank you. Don't know what that means, but thank you. He's like, yeah, I chose the clarity. I'm like, wow, cool. Love
Yeah.
it. But I'll post that for you guys because the fake ring from Amazon looks like shit. It honestly looked better on day one that I got it, but it immediately got cloudy, the Amazon one. And this one I've been wearing for a while and it still looks
I mean,
good.
I don't
So
think
you
it'll
can
ever
tell.
get cloudy, but you'll
Yeah.
definitely want to get it cleaned. I
Yeah.
know I didn't know this, but apparently for my warranty or whatever that I got on my wedding band, I have to go and get the diamonds checked every 6 months
Yeah.
because if one of them falls out and it's past the 6 months, then they won't service it. And
Ooh,
I was like, oh, I didn't know that.
I see.
So I'm gonna start
Yeah.
doing that every 6 months.
That makes sense. Yeah, my it has a care card obviously, and it said like check the prongs, make sure they're not loose, whatever. And what's nice is they do free cleanings forever, for life with it,
Yeah.
but you have to mail it in, and I hate getting like
Mm.
giving it away. I hate it. Like this
Yeah.
time took a long time because I had to get a repair as well, but I think normally it'd be faster. But yeah, the
Yeah.
only way I can do it like not that way, like the only way I could do it in person is they have a store in New York City and DC, and that's it. So
Oh, well, come
yeah.
visit me and
Yeah,
take your
next
ring
time I'm
in.
there, I'll have to take my ring in.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my ring update. So very exciting. And I love my real ring. And
Very
it fits.
cute.
That's the key.
Yeah,
It fits.
and I feel like going back to like the prong situation, like your diamond's big enough that you want to make sure the prongs are tight,
Yes.
but it's not like a 10
Little
carat
tiny.
diamond
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
where or like a huge like a tiny diamond where you're like,
Yep.
"Oh, I'm not going to be able to tell."
Yeah,
Like I feel
exactly.
like
No,
if I
I'll
had a
know.
huge diamond, I'd be like if
Yeah.
one prong was even a little loose. Like mine, I actually just got it repaired because my prongs were loose
Yeah.
and I was like I could twist it in mine because mine's a round diamond. I could like
Oh,
actually like
that's
rotate it a
interesting.
bit, but it
Yeah,
was secure, so I wasn't as
that's good.
nervous.
Yeah, I didn't know that could be a thing, but now that I know, I'm like, that makes sense, and I'm scared. So I
Hmm.
hope it doesn't happen, but at least like there's one, there's one. I don't have little
Yeah.
ones around. Like I will know if that one falls out
Yes.
or gets loose. Like I'll be able
I
to
know
tell.
mine's a little annoying because the ones that are in the like twisty part of the band are really hard to tell. Some
Yeah.
of them if they're there or not.
Right.
Like if it gets like a little bit less bright because it's a little dirty, I'm like, I
Mm-hmm.
can't really
You're like,
see
I don't
that one on the
know.
very end.
Yep. No, exactly. So luckily I'll be able to tell. That's the one good thing. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's my ring update. And then also I tried on dresses, you guys. So this was
Yay.
so much fun and so random. So basically I had a wedding date fiasco. I had to change my wedding date like 100 times and it was
Are we keeping
stressful.
it a secret until after it
Yeah.
happens?
Yeah.
Okay.
Private. Sorry. So yeah,
That's
had a wedding
okay.
date fiasco. And I had to change it a bunch of times and I was just stressed. And I was calling my mom like every day, like, I just don't know what to do. What do I do? And so she was so annoyed and she called my cousin Pam to like bitch about it and be like, I'm so annoyed.
Yeah.
Like, this is supposed to be fun. She's so stressed out, whatever. So Pam was
But
on the
that's going to be
phone.
the most stressful part.
Yeah, thank God
And
we
I guess
figured that
that's even
out.
an update because I don't even think that you said that you picked a wedding date.
Yeah, we picked a wedding date. Yeah, and I'm so excited because we actually love it. It's like a meaningful date to us. So we're really
Yeah.
pumped about that. Um,
If
and
you
it
think back to
works.
our numerology episodes, it's very, very
Yes.
important.
Yes, and ChatGPT actually is the one who helped me figure that out, actually, because
Oh.
I gave ChatGPT a bunch of the dates I was thinking about, and I was like, it's important to me for it to be symbolic of something. Can you make a chart and tell me about all these numbers? And it literally was like, what do you want? Astrology? Do you want numer? I was like, no astrology, I want numerology. And it was like, okay. And it
Mhm.
gave me the numerology of every single date I sent. I was like,
Aw.
this is so smart. So thanks, Chat, because it helped us pick the right one.
Mm.
So yeah, we did choose a date, but my mom and Pam, they were just annoyed. They were like, "Oh my God, this is supposed to be fun. How annoying!" And Pam was like, I wasn't a part of this conversation, but Pam was on the phone with my mom, like, "Let's just pack up our shit and go there right now." Because I was complaining to my mom on a Friday.
Yeah.
She's like, "Let's pack up our shit, go right now. We'll spend the night. We'll do fun stuff." And my mom's like, "No, Pam, we can't do that. Like, everyone has stuff to do." So then the next weekend,
Mm.
my mom was like, "How about we come go wedding dress shopping?" And I was like, Okay. I was like, just so you know, I don't know what kind of dress I want. I don't know what stores to go
I mean,
to.
more,
I don't
what a
know
better time
anything.
to go and look.
Yeah, so she was like, "Well, let's just go." Like me and Pam found this place. It's called Ohio Bridal Outlet. So
Mm.
it's 40 minutes south of Columbus and it's at an outlet mall and it's like an outlet wedding dress store. I'm like, that's great. And my mom bought her wedding dress for $500. And I was like, I want to do that. I was like, I don't
Yeah.
want to spend a lot because I don't even think I have a dream wedding dress. Like, I don't even know. So
Hmm.
I was like, I don't know. But everything in Columbus is like starting at 1700. That's the
Yeah.
lowest they go. So I'm
Yeah.
like,
My
oh
dress,
my
I think, was
God.
like 25,
Yeah,
27,
I think
something,
that's what you told me.
28, something like
Yeah.
that.
So that's like the lowest they go. And I'm like, what the heck? This is hopeless. I'm never going to find it. Whatever. My mom and Pam are like, no, let's just go out of the city and try something. So we tried this Ohio Bridal Outlet, which I want to recommend to anyone looking for a wedding dress, even if you're just trying, because you can try six styles. Like to start, you get six dresses to try on. You try them, you come out, whatever. And then after that, you get three at a time and you can just keep going all day. Unless there's other people in line, you have to get back in line, but you can stay.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Somehow it was dead on a Saturday, which it said that we were there during their peak time. Nobody there. We were just
Yeah. Well,
going,
I'm
going,
trying to
going.
think like it is wedding season. So
It
maybe everybody already,
was,
already has their dresses.
yeah. And it was game day, the first game of the season.
Mm.
And it was Labor Day weekend. So I was like, maybe the cards are working for me today. I
Yeah,
don't know.
sure.
But it was really fun. And the key about this store that I want to recommend you guys if you're looking for a budget dress, nothing goes over $1,000. It's literally a
Oh.
cap of 1,000. So it starts at 299 and then it goes all the way up to 999 for dresses, veils, shoes, accessory. Like they have everything. And it is a little bit small, I guess. I didn't feel like it was a super small store, but it's a little small.
Well, the place I
Anyways,
went was pretty small. They had like maybe 10 racks of dresses
okay,
total.
so maybe it's about the same as like 299s, 399s, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 5, 6, 7, 8 racks, and then maybe a few on the side. So yeah, it's probably about the same size.
Hmm.
So the people were super good, super nice. Everything you do by yourself since it's like a different style of a store. So like
Mm.
me and my mom went in the dressing room and put on the dresses ourselves. We didn't have like a worker doing it.
Oh,
And then if you came
yeah.
out and you obviously looked like you're having a problem or you like didn't clip it, they'll help you do that.
Yeah.
But you kind of do everything self-serve, which was fine. I was like, okay, good
I feel
first
like that's nice
experience.
though, because like if you're doing it with people that are like close to you, like
Yeah.
I don't know. I liked having the person because like I got an unbiased perspective
Yeah.
first because she helped me put on the dress and she was like, "You look very happy in this one,"
Mm-hmm.
before I went out and like saw everybody else's reactions, which I
Yes.
thought was
Yeah,
valuable.
yeah, that's nice. No, that's really good. And I feel like they know how the fit is supposed to work and stuff too.
Yeah,
But
and they're going to be honest with you. They're going to be like, "Well, your shoulders are too wide for this one. Like it doesn't look like it fits
mm-hmm.
your frame or something like that."
Yeah. Yeah. So since I got six to start, my mom and her cousin Pam came, and then Pam's two daughters, Sydney and Madeline, which you guys know from the podcast, and then my cousin Delaney, my mom's niece. So five people plus me. There were six of us. So I said, okay, for the first six, why don't we all just pick one dress?
Everybody grab one.
Literally anything you want, random, try to go different styles. Let's try a lot of stuff because I don't know what I want.
Like, give
And
me the
that's what we
biggest
did.
ball gown and then the tiniest little
Yes.
sleekest so,
Yep.
like slokey dress.
Yes, and that's what we did. We got six different dresses. I tried them all on. And actually, it was funny because Delaney and my cousin Pam picked the identical dress. They were like, "We think you'll love this one." And they both tagged it. And I went and looked around before they took the dresses, and it
Yeah.
was the exact same dress. So I took the tag off of Pam's because it was too small for me and Delaney's would fit.
Oh, mm-hmm.
So I took the tag off of Pam's and I gave it to someone, and we don't know who. This is important in my story, which I'll save for another time, I guess. But I'll give you a little bit. I handed it to somebody, maybe my mom, we don't know. They went and put it on a different sixth dress, which ended up being pulled first. That's the first dress I tried on.
Oh, uh-huh.
And that's the dress I bought. I did
Yay!
not expect to buy a dress that
I
day.
didn't
I had
either.
no
Well, I kind of
intention.
did.
Yeah, I had no intention. I was just like, we're trying stuff. We're going to see what we like. And the first dress I tried on like, I don't know, Sydney calculated like 20 or more dresses. And the first one I tried on, it was the dress. And I bought
The
it.
the second place I went because I went to a place called Henry's in
Yeah.
Columbus, and that's where like my sister-in-law Natalie ended up getting her dress, so she
Yeah.
recommended it to me, and I was like, I didn't like anything there. None of it was like my style. And then the second place we went is called Wendy's Bridal in Columbus, and I'm recommending
Yeah.
it to everybody. I love it there. And the first dress I tried on there is the one I bought too.
Oh my God, that's so crazy. Yeah. So, and the girl who was checking me out, she said the same thing. She said the first dress she tried on, it was just the right one, which is funny. And Angelo's probably not listening to this podcast, but if you are, babe, you know what to do. He wants to know nothing. You know how
Yeah,
Angelo is in general in life, but he's like,
yeah.
I want no, like, do not tell me a story. Do not tell
That's
me
how Kyle
anything.
was. He was like,
Yeah.
"Don't tell me anything." My
Literally
dad was that
nothing.
way too. My dad did not want to
Yeah.
know anything because he knew I wanted to do a first look with him.
Yes. My mom took it home because we're probably going to be moving. And I'm like, I don't want to store
Yeah.
that. I don't want to take that. So she
Yeah.
took it home. She asked my stepdad if he wanted to see it. He was like, yeah. And then he was like, wait, no, I
No,
should
I
probably
don't.
wait
No, I
for the
don't.
big day. Yeah. Like he was
Yeah.
like, no. So nobody's seen it, but Angela, skip ahead. But anyway, this dress that I bought is not what I thought I would want. It's
hmm
not what was on my Pinterest board. And no one can figure out who picked it out. I think it was my mom, but
Oh,
this
like you don't even
we
know.
don't know. Like
Oh.
one of the six of us picked it out. We think it was my mom. Anyways, okay, I'm spoiling too much. Stay tuned, you guys, because I want to give you the full story. It's a really
Yeah.
good story, but we don't have time today.
Are you
So
gonna keep it a
that's my
secret until
experience.
your wedding
Yes,
from
so that's the
everybody?
thing is I invited Cheyenne, who's my maid of honor, and she was supposed to go, but she literally she said she hadn't been out of her room for 48 days because she had 48 days, 40 hours. I'm not okay.
I was
Not
like,
days. You're like, oh
Erica,
my
is
God.
she okay?
48 hours because she had such a bad migraine. And she was like, I just cannot go. Like, I can't even look in the light or I'm going to throw up. I was like, okay, don't go. Like, it's okay. And I was a little sad, obviously, but I was like, you know
Yeah.
what? She's always had migraines. I know that about her. Like, it's part of her life and it sucks. And I'm just like, it's okay. So then I was just like, all right, it's just my family. So I didn't bring any bridesmaids. Like, I only invited Cheyenne and then I didn't bring anyone else. And also, I haven't asked all my bridesmaids yet, only like half.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But anyways, I was like, Mom, do you think they'll be offended? I didn't ask them whatever. And she was like, no, do it however you want. And then I was like, oh my God, we can
It's a
do a
secret
bridesmaid
now.
reveal. Yeah, like those little
Yeah.
videos where all the bridesmaids get to see it and all the family. So that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah.
Okay.
Wedding
Yay, I'm
updates.
excited.
I
I
know.
think I love the idea of like a secret dress. I think I've
Yeah.
only known one person that did that.
No one has seen it, just my mom. And then she asked me the other day, "Can I show your grandma, like my stepdad's mom?" And she was like, "Can I show her?" I She doesn't even know I have a picture, so you can say no, whatever. I was like, "No, let's do a surprise." And she was like, "Okay, sounds
Yeah.
good." So no one's gonna see it. I'm so excited.
Yay. I'm so
So it'll be cool
excited.
for everyone to see it, like walking down the aisle. Everyone gets a
hmm
first look. Also, me and Angela are not doing a first look. He said he wants to see it like in the church, do the thing. I
Really?
was like, okay, and I
I feel
actually
like
like
that's
that too.
surprising just with like how close of a relationship that you two do
Yes, and
have.
how private Angelo is in general.
Yeah,
But I asked him because I kind of wanted to do that. I like that idea, and then he did too. But that also might speak slightly to like we like the traditional wedding style too.
that's
So I'm like, maybe
true.
that's why. But yeah, it's gonna be cute. I can't
Unfortunately,
believe it.
Erica, that means that you can't do the photos thing that I did and get them all done before your
Oh,
ceremony.
yeah. That was my mom's good idea that she had too. I kind of forgot about that. She had that idea to do.
Now you can't do it. I mean,
Yeah,
you could
that's
do it
so
with everybody
true.
else but Angelo, which I guess is maybe
Yeah.
a good thing.
Yeah. And then we could do them after, like a
Yeah,
couple
you could do like
after.
bridal
I
party,
guess
like
that's what my mom did
groomsmen.
say. She was like, you could do yeah, do like bridesmaids, everything except the two of you. And then afterward, you only have a few left. I'm like, that's true. That's a good idea.
Yeah, and you would have more time with just the two of you too,
Yeah.
maybe.
I started to think about like the timeline of the day and like how it's going to work. And I'm like, I do not know. Like, I
I
don't
can send you
know.
my like 14-page document that the
Yes,
DJ had
please
me fill out.
do. Please
Okay.
do. Yeah, and yeah, it's just fun. My mom bought some decor officially
Mm,
because we're doing it all ourselves, all our own decor and
yeah.
stuff. So that was cool.
I still have my
But
big
yeah.
whiteboard if you want that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, what was it? What did you use it for? I don't remember.
The seating chart. It didn't
Oh,
look like it was a big white or it's a big
yeah.
chalkboard. It
Yeah.
didn't look like that because we like got that thing from Canva that had the seating chart on it and we like
Mm.
taped it to it.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know. I'm open. If anyone out there has some stuff, like hit me up, let me know. I'd love to borrow things. Sydney, my cousin, she's like, yeah, I have the Cricut heat press. You can borrow it. I was like, yes. And then
Yes.
Eric's mom, she used to have a Cricut. She gave it to my cousin, whatever. My cousin's not using it. She gave it to me to use. So now I have two Cricuts in my basement, tons of Cricut paper. I'm gonna get the heat press. I'm gonna be grinding out the DIYs. So
And you can make your own Canva like wedding invites and stuff.
yeah,
They're gonna be
literally.
so cute.
I know, I'm so excited. And okay, this will be on next week's episode, but we're getting engagement photos soon, and so I'm gonna design my save the dates, and I'm so excited. I'm gonna be sending them out soon.
Yay.
And also, I'm so relieved, you guys, because me and Marissa talked about it, and it sounds like she's gonna be able to come to my wedding. So I was
Oh,
like, I'm
I'm
not
coming.
sure. I was like, I'm
And
excited.
I haven't said when the other wedding is, but we
Yeah,
now have two the same week. So,
literally, yeah, so close together, which honestly seems chaos. But and then in the second, like looking at it, I'm like, wait, that might be a blessing. Like that might
yeah,
be a
because
nice
yours
way
is
to
a
do it.
Saturday before the one that
Yeah,
we have on Friday. So it's like six
perfect.
days apart. But I mean, if it was Friday and Saturday, like 2 days apart, I
That'd be
think I might be a little
crazy.
dead.
Yeah,
But
that would
I'm
be
glad that
nuts.
it's like opposite weekends.
I know. And we were trying to think about, so we rented our venue until midnight on the Saturday, but we have to get married really early in the day for the church. So we were like,
Mm.
how's this going to work? And my mom's like, do you really need it till midnight? Do you think people will really stay till midnight? And I was like, I don't know. I figured maybe people stay till 10 and then you have 2 hours to clean it up and get out of there. And then I was like asking Angela, like, are people going to stay? Whatever. He was like, listen, people are going to leave early and then there's going to be people like our friends and our cousins who we like who are literally going to stay until we kick them out and we leave. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
I'm
slay.
gonna stay until you tell me to get
Yes, yes.
out. You're
I
gonna be
know.
like, I need to go. I'm married. Get out. And I'll be
No,
like, okay.
literally. I know. And I love that. That's what I was saying. I was like, I just want people to like hang out and dance all night and it's gonna be so fun.
Yes.
So yeah, and then we're also talking about like who's gonna help with this, who's gonna help with that, because we're doing so much on our own. And then I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, I just need to ask Marissa, I need to ask Natalie, like
Yeah.
people I
We'll
helped with
help.
their wedding,
I mean, you
they'll
know
help with
not to
mine, I'm
ask me for
sure.
any of the creative things,
Yeah.
but
No,
I
but I'm
will be
like,
there for
who's gonna
everything
set out
else.
like the charcuterie cups or like whatever we do? I'm like, oh my God. My mom's like, just ask people, like people will help you. I was like, yeah, you're right. I did help a lot with other people's weddings, and I'm sure they'll do the same. Like,
Hmm.
it's just a group effort.
Yeah.
So, anyways, wedding updates. And then my other update's like so boring compared to these. I'm like, why did I put that second?
That's
Got my
okay.
car fixed. I don't know. No one was
Yay.
probably concerned, but I told you guys in the last one that my car was having a problem with the message on the screen. Turns out it wasn't just a message, it was an actual problem, and my engine was leaking coolant. Not good. And I guess that's been happening with Toyotas. So the nice thing is that they are fixing them for free. So I did
Oh,
not have to
good.
pay a cent for that. And I got to see my boy, Chandler, who is our our maintenance guy we go to every time. He's amazing. He's so nice. And we told him we're engaged and he was like so excited. And then he told us he's engaged, which I had no idea about. I was like,
Yay,
what?
exciting.
And he showed us a picture of his fiance on his desk, which we saw last time. And I was like, that's a magazine ad. That's not his girlfriend. No, it's his fiance. And she looks like a fucking supermodel. I was like, what the hell?
Okay.
But he's like, yeah, we're gonna get married in a couple years, but we're planning to do it like a Greek cruise.
Oh,
I was like,
fun.
no way, our cousins did a Greek
Yeah.
cruise for their honeymoon, so that was cool.
It was very, very highly recommend. Have you
Yes.
thought about honeymoon destinations?
No, a little. I liked what you guys did. I was like, ooh, that could be a good idea. It's like an easy way to see a lot of countries. I think Italy would be cool because Angela's Italian.
The whole thing,
Yeah, the whole
the whole
thing.
family
And then
thing.
also my coworker, she's Portuguese and her family lives in some
Portugal
of
is
her family lives
beautiful.
in Portugal. Yeah, and so I was like, she goes all the time. Also, she's getting married less than a month from me in Portugal. So
Hmm.
I was like, she'd be a great person. I'm sure she'd give me all the recs on like where to go, what to do.
Yeah.
She
I
goes
mean, we
every
had the
year.
like 19-hour layover in Lisbon,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
was like the hotel that we stayed in was really cheap and it was so
That's what
nice.
she said. She was like, it is so cheap to stay in Portugal in the nice cities, in the nice areas. Like it's super
Like
affordable.
Porto and Lisbon, and then
Yeah.
we were even looking at like the
I
Azores
don't know.
Islands. They're
Hmm.
off the coast of Portugal. We were thinking about going and like doing a little
Yeah.
tropical vibe there.
Yeah, I need to ask her because I was like, that could be a good spot. And
Hmm.
I also feel like she'll just be able to help me. She'll just know. She'll know the things. So, anyways, that's all I got. What about you? What's new?
I just took sick off of my update because I've already talked enough about
Yeah.
that, but I finally got my tattoo
Oh my God, wait,
yesterday.
show us
So
yesterday.
it's yeah, it's kind of hard because I'm wearing
Okay.
like longer short sleeves.
Yeah. Oh, it's so cute. I love the sparkles. Wait, that's so
They're
cute.
little stars and a
I love
little
it.
fireflies. When
So
I went
cute.
originally, she had forgotten about the fireflies,
Oh,
and so I had to remind her.
oh,
And so it ended up being a little bit more expensive than it originally was meant
yeah.
to be, but that's
Dang.
okay. I just sent you a video, Erica,
Okay. Oh
so you
my
can see
gosh.
it all of its glory.
I'm
But
excited.
I love it. I think that it doesn't fit like the line work of my other tattoos because my butterflies are like really dark and like the
Mm-hmm.
flowers on my arm are pretty thick lines and these are definitely
Wow.
like fine line
Yeah, they
tattoos.
are.
But I think I like it
No, I
still.
like it.
It's
It's
like
so
dainty in
cute.
between the ones that are a little bit more like not
Statement.
aggressive, but like
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
little bit bigger and darker.
Love. Oh my God. Yeah, I did see. This is so random. It feels like I stalk you, but I did see on Venmo that you tipped someone. I was like, oh, she
Oh, I
got her
saw you
tattoo.
like it.
Yeah, so random. I'm like, because I
Yeah.
opened it actually to Venmo Angelo, and then I saw that. I was like, oh, she got her tattoo. Oh my God.
Yeah, I think she had originally quoted me like 240 to 260 and you pay $100 deposit, so I should have only like
Gotcha.
had to pay like 100 to
Right.
$200 or whatever, but she ended up changing it to 300 adding the like butterflies and stuff.
Yeah.
So I paid her 260 yesterday with like the tip and stuff.
Right.
But the one in
So
like
cute.
this little
Mm-hmm.
firefly right here,
Mm-hmm.
that guy felt like he was in my armpit, which you can
Oh
see. Oh my
God.
gosh, you can see me when I
Yeah.
like close my arm. It's like
Yeah.
right up in my
Oh
armpit. That did
gosh.
not feel very good, but the
Mm.
rest of it was okay.
Yeah. So cute. Oh my God, I love it.
Thanks. And then I put trip update. So
Yeah.
we were talking about our anniversary trip, and when this comes out, we're leaving like in a week.
So
And I'm very
exciting.
excited. We decided that we're just going to Ireland.
Hmm.
So we're going to be going to Ireland. We're going to be staying like all across the country, kind of.
Wow.
We're going to go to like the left side, the right side, the whole thing. So you
Yeah.
can see all the different like views.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited. We booked all of our hotels. We need to get
Wow.
buses to get like across the country, but I'm very excited.
So exciting. I love that.
And then the last one,
Yeah, what the fuck is this? Let's go.
I I last minute decided to audition to be a cycle bar instructor.
No way. That's so
Yes.
exciting.
And I don't
Wait.
know anything yet
Okay.
because we just went in, we did like a 3 song ride and they had like four or
Wow.
five instructors watching us.
Yeah.
And then they gave us opportunity to do a callback. And there was only about 7 of us, so everybody did a callback.
Okay.
I signed up the day of the audition to do it. And so they allowed
Wow.
me to say I'm not ready to do my like 2 song single audition where I'm like
Mm-hmm.
on the mic calling out the things
Wow.
to do.
Yeah.
And I decided not to do it that day. So I'm
Right.
doing it in like a week from
Oh my
tomorrow.
God, that's crazy.
But she did ask me to come in for an hour, and 2 songs obviously doesn't take an hour. It takes like 6 to 8 minutes. So
Right.
I'm very curious to see like what the whole
What's this
hour that
about?
I'm going to be there
Mm-hmm.
looks like.
Do you have to get like a certification or anything like that, like a fitness instructor thing?
It's a 3 week boot camp, and I think
Okay.
that it's like involved in that.
That makes sense. Oh my God, that's cool. I was when I
I
saw this, I was like,
know.
what the fuck is that?
Yeah, I'm very excited. So I've done like the first part. I'm going to do the second part a week from tomorrow
Oh
and
my
then
gosh.
see what happens. I'm going to be okay if I don't get it because there was some girls that like were there that were really, really good and they have a lot more rides than me. I think one of the
Yeah.
girls had like almost 500 rides
Oh
that
my
she's done.
God.
I've only done, I would say I've probably done like 60, but at one studio that I go to consistently, I'm almost to 50, but I've
Yeah.
gone to like other ones throughout.
Yeah.
So I'm excited, but I'm not gonna
Wow.
be like devastated if it doesn't happen to me.
Yeah.
It'll just give me
Yeah.
a better idea if I do like audition again.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's exciting.
Yes, I'm very excited. I hope that everything goes well.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks. Okay, that's all my updates.
Okay, well, happy October episodes, everybody.
Yay! I
We're
feel like I
jumping
said that at the
in.
beginning on
You
accident.
did. No, it's all good. But yeah, we're in our October episodes. As you guys know, we only do 2 episodes per month now. Sorry. We love you guys. Hint. But so since we only have two, we had to get right into the spooky season, with this
Hmm.
first October ep. So, do you want to explain your concept?
Yeah, well, I guess it's your concept, but we both did it. So we went to Reddit and we found some spooky stories to get you in the mood for the Halloween holiday.
Yeah.
I chose one that was like really long and then one that was on the shorter side. I think I
Yeah.
looked at yours and they're all both about like medium length.
Yeah.
So we're gonna kind of go back and forth and just share some scary stories, see
Yeah.
whose hairs we can get to stand up on end.
Yes.
Um, I think I don't know exactly which Reddit thread mine came from, but we're gonna
Okay.
post it link in the bio when this
Mm-hmm.
comes out.
Yeah, we'll
Erica's
find it.
came from like the subreddit Scary Stories, and I'm pretty sure mine
Yes.
probably came from there.
Yeah, we'll try to figure that out, guys. And then also, I told Marissa I'm going to comment on these posts and share our episode link when it goes live. So if you're one of the people that wrote these stories, please write us an email. You can send us a follow up. I did one of them I was reading, and the comment, it's a little bit older, and the comments were like, we want to follow up. And he answered yesterday and said, I actually do have a part two, but he
Oh,
hasn't posted it, I don't think, or I don't know who they are. But
yeah.
anyway, so yeah, I started out a little mild, and
I
then I,
was
I got spookier
curious.
as we
I
went
was
along.
curious, are yours real?
I
Because
don't know.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't
My
know.
first one is not real. It's just like a scary story
Yeah.
that like somebody's family member told them. And then the second one, I honestly can't remember. I put this in like last week. I think it's real,
Did they usually
but
say, or how will I know? Or will
um
I guess? Because
well,
my first one I would guess.
I
I'll tell you
was
guys
looking
after.
up a Reddit thread called creepypastas. Do you know what creepypastas are?
No.
They are like fake scary stories that
Okay.
are meant to
Got
like
it.
bait you.
Hmm.
And I was trying to look for those so I could, they're written really well where they make you think that
Right.
it's real. And I was trying to find one to like not tell you that it was fake before I read it, but I
Yeah.
couldn't find one that was good.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I like that. All right. Well, I guess we can dive in. Like Marissa said, mine are from Scary Stories. And my first one is from the person called 1001 Nights. That's their username. I'm not gonna read the title because I feel like it kind of gives it away. So I'm just gonna
Okay.
tell you guys the story. All right. This one
Okay,
has
I'm
a
ready.
lot of dialogue, so bear with me.
Yeah, I know. My
Um,
my first one's very, very long, so you're gonna have to bear
yeah.
with me too.
My first one's on the like shorter than my second one, but like I said, I try to ease in. So this one's like okay, okay, and then the next
I
one,
probably
that's
should
where it
have
gets
flipped
spooky.
mine, I think.
It's not too late. You can, you can.
No, I'm gonna keep it. It's
Okay,
calling to
so
me.
here we go. My visit to my hometown hadn't gone too badly, all things considered. Parents will be parents after all. The food was great, and the time had gone by quickly enough. It was already the last night, and there was some comfort in walking around the quiet, timeless, snow covered streets of my childhood, knowing that tomorrow I would be far away from it all back in the city where I now belonged. Why is this us? um, they roll up the tarmac here at 6, my father was fond of saying, and the quiet small town streets, empty even though it was barely 7 p.m., bore him out. But it wasn't true to say that nothing had changed, I thought, staring at this huge new statue in the middle of town square, lit up in the evening by a complex arrangement of white lights. It was of a small, seated woman, a veil falling over her face, holding a giant cat like a baby.
Oh.
The cat, as big as a lion, appeared to be sleeping, although the look of despair on the woman's face as she stared down at the cat was intense enough to suggest otherwise. I think it's based on La Pieta, I said, which I had to look this up, and it's a famous, I think, Michelangelo painting,
Mm.
just for context. And it is like a guy holding a woman, I think, or something similar, like a person holding another person. So if you guys want to see, maybe I'll put it on the screen. I'll insert a picture of it. So anyways, I think it's based on La Pieta, I said, turning to Luke, my childhood best friend and companion, for this early evening walking around downtown. Another change. He had become widowed since I was here last, and our parents' comedy attempts to throw us together was straight out of a Hallmark movie. Poor Mandy. She had been one of my close childhood friends as well, and although we drifted apart after I moved, she embraced married life with Luke. I had been very sad to hear of the brutal car accident that took her too soon. What? Luke
Oh.
frowned. I Googled trying to bring up the image of the famous statue of, oh, Mary and Jesus, lol. Like I said, a guy and a girl. I cannot. It
Oh.
was Mary and Jesus. That's so embarrassing. Angela, please, I hope you're not listening to this. It's so
Well,
embarrassing,
he
but
doesn't. It's okay.
it's a Michelangelo, but it is a beautiful statue. So look on screen, guys. Anyways,
I guess
I
I didn't know. I've never heard the name of this
me
statue. So
either.
how are we supposed to know?
How would we know?
It's
How
just a
would we
guy and a
know?
little. It's a
A guy
lady
and a
and
girl.
a little guy.
Yeah, and it's I mean it's gorgeous, guys. So look at it up. Anyways, okay, I googled trying to bring up the image of the famous statue of Mary and Jesus on my phone, but my internet wasn't working. Rural internet. You know how it is.
We know.
Okay. Luke placed his hand on my shoulders, looking at me with such a deep expression that for a minute I thought he was actually going to deliver a line like, "Oh, Lisa, you've become too smart for your own good with your fancy city ways." But instead, he said, "They become alive at midnight." My blood ran cold, radiating iciness outward, so I felt I was freezing solid, about to fall over and shatter on the stone cold pavement. A car drove by, its harsh, moving lights casting long, moving shadows. Then we were alone again by the still white lights of the statue. I stepped back from Luke. He had been around all my life, but suddenly it occurred to me that I didn't know much about him at all. I looked up at his shadowed face, and he had turned and was staring at the statue.
Mm-mm.
Luke?
I don't like this.
Mandy and her cat, the statue, they become alive at midnight. They walk about, he said it quite matter of factly. I cannot describe the terror surging in me, but I knew I had to leave. But Luke reached out again and he gripped me tighter. It was an accident. Everybody knows that. Everyone in town. The police said that fucking cat. I braked. I wasn't going to run it over, but Mandy just ran and I told her I had to get rid of the goddamn cat. We were trying to have kids, you know. Everyone knows cats make women barren. But then she
What?
died and they went
Do
and put
they?
this stupid statue which walks around and I don't even know where the goddamn cat went. I looked for it. I would have taken care of it for Mandy's sake. She loved that damn creature so much. So did I. I wouldn't have run it over. You believe me, don't you, Lisa? His voice shrill. His fingers strong dug into my shoulders. Later, I would find perfect circular bruises on my shoulders, but in the moment, I didn't feel any pain. I was just trying to parse the torrent of words which had flooded my brain. Please, Luke. You have to stay and watch them come alive with me, cried Luke. I know you will see them too, Mandy. Loved you. She was always talking about you. She wanted to come visit you. You'll understand. I'm not the only one seeing them. Let me go, I cried, struggling to break free from his hands. Whoosh! Something large knocked Luke over,
The
breaking his
statue.
grasp. He fell backwards away from me. I heard his screams mixed with the yowls of a cat. I paused for an instant and saw the silhouette of a large cat at Luke's throat. I
Oh,
was deeply confused. It wasn't midnight, but surely I wasn't thinking the statue was alive. Idiotically, I looked over at the town square, but the white lights were now dark and I couldn't see. Luke was trying to peel the cat away from him. Run. I whipped around and a small familiar woman walking swiftly away. I hesitated no more. I turned and
Mandy.
I ran toward the safety of my parents' place, my heels clacking on the empty, deserted pavement, leaving howls and screams behind me. And I never saw Luke again before I left the next day. The end.
Okay, so
So
was
that
like
one is cool.
Mandy his girlfriend,
Mandy
maybe?
was his wife that died.
Okay.
And then I
Okay.
think maybe they're like maybe the girl's thinking that's who was in the statue is Mandy and the
I
cat. I don't
guess.
know.
Okay. I was a
But
little
yeah.
confused at the beginning because I was like, this is a funny story. And then it did start to like pick up a little bit. And I was like,
Yeah.
wait, what's happening?
Guys, okay, so this is the one that I would guess is fake. It's written so well. I
Okay.
don't know, but maybe
Yeah.
they're just a good writer. But the paragraph that I read, like really fast and really crazy, when I was reading these myself for research, it's literally written like that. It's like every sentence is like half cut off and like
Hmm.
has dashes. And I was like, oh, I really got to act this out, you guys.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a good one. Good little
It
start
was a
off.
good one.
So
Okay.
that's my story.
Yay. I like it. Okay. Now
Yeah.
I gotta learn how to read because mine's long.
Not
I
gonna
did
lie,
this to
it was hard.
myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like mine, it also is kind of written like that. It starts like paragraph format and then it starts to like
Yeah.
get a bit shorter. And I feel like we'll get there.
Yeah.
Okay. I will say the title of mine, because mine doesn't give
Yeah.
anything away. It's called My Grandma Used to Tell Me Scary Stories When I Was Little. There's one I'll never forget, and it's by
Ooh.
Sam Haysum.
Okay.
So Sam Haysum. Okay. Not that I needed to spell that out. That was annoying. Sorry. Okay. I was about 10 years old when grandma came to live with us. It was about 6 months after granddad passed away. And I guess looking back, she must have been lonely in that big house of theirs, rattling around with the grief and memories for company. So despite a few protests from my mom, my parents took her in. There were no protests from me, none at all. Grandma was loud and fun, and I loved her. She
Cute.
had an almost limitless supply of boiled sweets, and she'd always slip me a couple whenever she saw me. She was always the first to stick up for me when I got in trouble too. But I liked her story, but her it was her stories I loved the best. Grandma had all kinds of stories, stories about growing up during World War II and stories about the things that get up to with her friends on the South Coast after her family had been evacuated. Sad stories, funny stories, adventure stories, but it was her scary stories that were my
Ooh.
favorite. Grandma had lots of scary stories. She told me she dabbled in the occult when she was a teenager, trying out Ouija boards with her friends, tarot cards, fortune telling, all that stuff. Most of the stories I'd laughed off or forgot about not long after she was done telling them, but there were a couple that really did spook me a bit. I was only 10 at the time, you'd have to understand, and Grandma certainly knew how to bring the stories to life. She'd shut
Mm.
off the lights in my room so only the glow of the night sky shone through the curtains, and she'd shuffle in real close. Close enough that I could see the wrinkles on her face and smell the boiled sweets on her breath.
Oh boy,
Close
grandma.
enough, close enough so her deep blue eyes could stare straight into mine. She must have given me nightmares with a few of those tales, but now, years later, there's only one that I can still remember, only
Dang.
one that's stuck with me. The story about the shower and Mr. Longfingers.
Ew. Okay. I
Grandma
hate
told me
that.
about Mr. Longfingers one night after I asked about her baths. Grandma used to love her baths. She'd spend ages in them, light candles and incense, and lie in the tub humming to herself until the water turned cold.
Mood.
They drove my mum crazy. But when I asked her why she loved them so much, she'd say it was the only place that she could relax. It was the only place that felt safe for her to relax.
Hmm.
You know, people like me who are, well, more sensitive to certain things. We have to have baths, she told me seriously one night, shuffling closer on the bed. I couldn't possibly spend that long in the shower. It'd be far too risky. Oh no, I lost my spot.
Hmm.
Okay. Grandma stared at me with those blue eyes of hers, unsmiling, and I knew it was time for one of her stories, one of the scary ones. I shivered with pleasure and pulled the covers up to my chin. Why is it risky, Grandma? She turned to look out the window, watching me from the corner of her eye, pausing for effect. I waited, feeling my heart rate pick up ever so slightly in my chest. Well, she said after a moment, it is only risky if you close your eyes, of course. If you
Hmm.
close your eyes for longer than 10 seconds. What do you mean? Why? Well, do you ever play that game in the background with your friends? The one where someone turns their backs and the other sneak up when they're not looking? I nodded, and my grandma nodded back. Exactly. So that's what it's like in the shower when you have your eyes closed. That's what it's like with Mr. Longfingers.
Mm-mm.
A cold itch tickled back. Who's Mr. Longfingers, Grandma? She let out a deep breath as she wished she hadn't said
Hmm.
anything, turned her head back to face mine, and when she spoke, she lowered her voice. No one knows exactly, Grandma whispered. Some think it's a creature that's attracted to the heat and smell we give off in there.
Ew.
Others think it's a demon that finds their way into our realm through the dense steam clouds. No one can say for sure because the only ones who have actually seen Mr. Longfingers aren't ever going to be able to tell you. I
Oh.
pulled in a breath. Why not? Grandma shuffled closer on the bed and leaned towards me, leaving a question hanging in the air. Don't you worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry your pretty head. As long as you remember the rules, you'll be fine. What rules? Well, when you're in the shower, try not to close your eyes for too long. 5 seconds is fine, and 10 is just about okay too. But any longer than that, yeah, then what? Well, any longer than that, and you may start to feel something in the room with you, something
Mm.
watching. And if you ever go longer than 15 seconds, that's when you might just start hear a noise too. Hear what? The soft tap, tap, tap of fingers on glass, fingers drumming against the glass door of the shower. If you ever do hear that noise, God forbid, will you make me a promise? What, Grandma? Promise me you'll never open your eyes.
No.
Okay, that's part one of the story.
Okay.
Next part.
Creepy.
I barely slept that night, hardly at all. I'd close my eyes and try to relax, but every time I did, I'd imagine a face pressed against my bedroom window staring at me. And when I finally did get to sleep, I had nightmares. Bad ones. I had them all week, in fact. Dreams about disembodied eyes starting to watch me in the dark and long fingers reaching out to touch my
Mm.
exposed skin. It wasn't any better when I was awake either. Not really. The shower was the worst, and that's when Grandma's story really got to me. I'd never thought about it before, but suddenly I had trouble shutting my eyes in there. I'd be standing beneath the beading water, shampoo running down my head, and as soon as I squinted my eyelids closed, I'd hear Grandma's words running through my head.
Mm.
5 seconds is fine, and 10 is just about okay too, but any longer than that, I'd rub my hair fast, feeling the shampoo dripping off my chin, and as soon as I counted past 5 seconds, I'd feel it. A sort of pressure. Not a feeling of being watched exactly, but something close to that. I'd run my fingers faster and faster through my hair, frantically trying to get the suds
Mm.
out, and the reedy blackness behind my eyes, coupled with the rush of water in my ears, would feel like a held breath. Then a silence before a scream. The seconds would race through my mind, and I'd be so desperate to open my eyes again that I'd sometimes do it before my hair was rinsed fully clean and my eyes would sting with shampoo. But before I shut them again, I'd always be sure to peer out through the steamed glass door of the shower cubicle, just to make sure I was still alone.
Mm.
It hadn't been long before my mom realized something was up. She heard me crying in my sleep one night and came to
Aw.
comfort me, asked me what was the matter, and it all came out. When I told her about Grandma's story and about Mr. Longfinger, she got this look on her face when I was telling her like she used to get when I'd made her really mad. This
Mm.
wide-eyed, angry look. Only this time she wasn't angry with me. She was angry with Grandma. My
I would be
parents' room
too.
is, yeah, my parents' room is next to mine, and sometimes if I pressed my ear against the wall, I couldn't hear them talking. I could hear them talking in there, soft whispers. That night, though, after Mom was satisfied I wasn't scared anymore and she'd gone back to her room, her whispers weren't soft at all. Oh
Mm.
no. I heard Mom hissing to Dad about Grandma, about the story she'd told me. Mom's voice floated through the wall, sharp and crisp. You know what fucking mother said to him now, don't you, Simon? Dad's response was an unintelligible mutter. She told him there's a monster that will get him if he shuts his eyes in the shower. A monster. The poor kid's been having nightmares about it all week. Seriously, Simon, you'd better say something to her tomorrow, first thing, or I will. Grandma came to visit me in my room the following night. That time, as she perched at the end of the bed, there were no stories, nothing like that. Grandma just sat there and stared down at me, her blue eyes wide and sad. The light from the moon outside the window lit up her wrinkled face. You know, I never let anything bad happen to you, don't you? She said after a moment. I nodded my head. I know, Grandma. You know, I wouldn't let you come to any harm. I nodded again. Okay, good. That's good. She looked away from me, out the window. You know, the things I tell you in the evening are meant to help you, sweetheart. They're meant to toughen you up a bit, protect you. She paused and shook her head, but maybe your mom's right. Maybe I went too far this time. She looked down at me and smiled, but even then, even though I was only 10 years old, I could tell it didn't quite reach her eyes. I'll tell you what, Grandma said. You know what I told you about Mr. Longfingers in the shower? Well, I'm going to make sure you're safe. I'll scare the bastard off. How about that? It won't come back in a hurry if it has to face me. I stared up at my grandma, watching her face glow in the moonlight, watching her smile down at me. I nodded my head once. I was the one who found her. I don't know exactly what happened, but I guess it was
Mm-mm.
about a week after we had that talk in my room. A week after she told me she wouldn't let me come to any harm. I woke up early that morning from a bad dream to a heavy thumping sound. I sat bolt upright in my bed. My room was quiet around me, and I couldn't hear anything from the wall that joined my parents' room either. The house was entirely silent. Floating down the hall, muffled by my closet door, I could hear the sound of rushing water, the
Mm.
noise of the shower. I leapt out of bed, ran down the hallway upstairs, heart already pounding in my chest. As soon as I reached the closed bathroom door, I started banging on it. A deep terror was welling inside me like the cold water from a well, something I couldn't place. I kept banging and shouting, "Grandma!" over and over again, even though she didn't respond. Off to my right, I was dimly aware of voices from my parents' room, a sleepy shuffle of the footsteps. But before they had a chance to make it out onto the landing, I had lifted my hand to test out the door handle, more of an instinct than because I had thought it might actually open. But the door wasn't locked. I
Mm.
kept banging with my free hand, and it swung open inwards, bringing me face to face with a wall of steam. Heat struck my skin. I squinted my eyes against the damp fog and peered into the bathroom. And before Dad pushed me to one side, before everything around me descended into shouting and tears and chaos, I saw her. I saw Grandma. Water beating down around her, blue eyes bulging from her face, one hand curled against her chest like a dead bird, while
Oh,
the other trailed against the glass of the shower cubicle, the flailing finger marks she'd carved through the steam still clear and fresh. It was a
dang.
heart attack that killed her. That's what my dad told me. And Grandma was old, and the thing had struck her quickly and suddenly. She would have died fast without pain, Dad said. She wouldn't have suffered. And I knew better, though. Even as a 10-year-old kid, I knew better. And years later, writing this as an adult, I still know better. I also know my wife and kids resent me for refusing to have a shower in the house,
Oh my
for
God.
insisting everyone take baths. They pretend it's okay and they humor me, but I can tell they really don't understand it. Not at all. My wife thinks she does. She thinks I still carry around the trauma of seeing my grandmother dying in front of me when I was little. I guess she's right in a way, but she doesn't know the full truth. No one does. And no one believed me if I told them. No one believed me that if I said the reason I don't take showers, the reason I haven't had one since I was 10 years old, isn't because I'm scarred from the sight of a dead body. It's because all those years ago, when I crept back into the still hot bathroom after the paramedics had taken Grandma's body downstairs, I made sure to check the marks her fingers had carved through the steamed glass on the shower cubicle. And those marks weren't just on the inside.
Eee, oh my God. Good ending though.
Yes.
Eee, I don't like it. Now I'm
You
gonna
don't
be
like
like, good
it?
thing I showered before this. That was creepy. Oh my
Creepy,
God.
creepy.
Okay, so is that a real one or a fake one? Do we know?
I would assume fake.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I feel
God.
like I did read the majority of it. I skimmed it because I was like,
Mm-hmm.
this is way too much to read and I kind of wanted to surprise myself.
Yeah.
But I liked it. I liked it.
Yeah, it was good. Okay, so when you read the title of that one, it kind of reminded me of my next one, the title of my next one, which is
Mm.
called I Wish I'd Never Watched My Family's Old Home Videos. Kind of a similar story vibe.
Spooky.
This is from Scary Stories, and the user is Apache underscore Blackwater. So here we go. Gotta prep my voice. Okay. My sister found the tapes in the attic after the funeral, hidden away in a cardboard box filled with a dozen or so tapes, our father's version of a time capsule, I suppose. She gave me 3 of them before I left to return back home, stored in a Ziploc bag, as if she thought they'd rot or leak if they were left unsealed. I think Dad meant for you to have these, she said, her voice distant. He kept them separate from the other ones. At the time, I didn't think much of it, just old home movies, nostalgia maybe, or his version of a time capsule. So it wasn't until 2 weeks later on a rainy Wednesday night that I started digging through them. I'd had too much to drink, and I felt sentimental. These tapes were high eight cassettes, which I also had to look that up, guys, because I'm young. And that's a certain type of old camcorder. So yeah, from the late 90s. On them were handwritten labels written in elegant handwriting. Springfield Trip 93, First Steps 1994, and Christmas 1995. And under each label, Nate, my name, had been scratched on with a black marker. There was something comforting about the handwriting, familiar but not quite, a strange nostalgia like remembering a dream from someone else's childhood. I found an old camcorder Dad had bought me back in the day, and I plugged it into the TV with a mess of Frankenstein cords, stuck the oldest tape in, and hit play. The screen flickered, static, then a baby me, I guessed, being held by a woman that I didn't really recognize. We were in a wide field, and it must have been summer. She had curly brown hair, big sunglasses, and a laugh that came from deep in her belly, and she looked happy. She looked in love, but not with me, with whoever was filming. That's it, sweetheart, a man's voice chuckled from behind the camera. Get a close up of those chubby cheeks. The woman cradled the baby, me, up towards the lens, and then winked. That's our boy, she said, and then she turned toward something off camera. Her smile faltered slightly. The camera panned over, and in the distance, near the tree line, stood a figure. far away and unmoving, dressed in dark clothes, just standing there,
Mm.
watching.
Mm-mm.
Do you see that? The woman asked. The man zoomed in slightly, but the figure did not move. It's probably just someone out for a walk, he said through his voice, which was quieter now. She turned to him. That's the same man from yesterday, Frank. The camera jolted
Oh.
slightly, a jerk of motion, and then static, a hard cut. I rewound it and played it again and again, unsure what to make of it all, a creeping chill crawling up the back of my neck. So the next tape was titled First Steps. Same woman, same man, same baby Nate. But this time something was off. The house did not match my memories. The wallpaper was not the wallpaper I grew up with. The couch was a different color than what is in our old family photos. So when I took those first steps, wobbling and laughing, I fell into the arms of that same strange woman and she kissed me on the cheek. You did it, my big boy. In the background, through the window, at the edge of the yard, just beyond the fence, the same figure, still staring.
Mm-mm.
I paused the tape. I rewound it. I went frame by frame, and it was there. Black clothes, long dark hair, pale skin, a barely visible face, but one I kind of recognized. The man filming stepped into the frame briefly. Broad shoulders, strong jaw, glasses. Not my dad, or at least not the man that I'd grown up calling father. He gave the woman a kiss on the cheek, and together, with their child, me, they made a perfect family. Then came the third tape, Christmas 95. Xmas
Mm-mm.
95. This one started out warm, familiar. The living room glowed with garland and wrapping paper. A crooked artificial tree stood in the corner. Holiday music crackled from the radio. That's such a vibe. The woman, my real mother, I realized, wore a red turtleneck, no makeup, just joy in her eyes. She handed a present to the baby version of me, a toddler in green footy pajamas. Frank, that was his name, the man from the earlier tapes, smiled from the carpet. He adjusted the camera on the tripod and gave a thumbs up. All right, Nate, he said, let's see what Santa brought you. He stood and knelt beside me, helping me tear the paper. The camera, now unattended, faced slightly askew, catching the hallway just past the living room. And
Oh
then
no.
movement.
The
A
figure.
tall figure stepped into view. His hair was jet black, his clothes are dark, his posture was stiff and wrong. He stood half lit by Christmas lights, staring straight ahead. It's the man I knew as Dad, the man who raised me. But here in this footage, he was something else. My mother's
He's
gasp
being raised
came
by a
first.
demon.
My mother's gasp came first. Frank, she whispered. Frank, he's here. Then scuffling, the sound of paper crinkling, Frank moved quickly, rising to stand between the stranger and his family. You need to leave, Frank shouted. This is our house. What do you want? My baby self started crying, and the man in the dark clothes stepped forward, a glint of metal by his side. A
Mm-mm.
crowbar.
No way.
Then chaos followed. A scream, a crash. The camera jolted off the table, landing half beneath the couch, angled low to the floor, and it didn't stop. It kept recording. Screams, sobbing, the clatter of glass, a child's wail, and with a heavy thud, a body fell into
No
view.
way. Now you're gonna see
Within
your
the
dead
silver,
mom.
within the sliver of view beneath the couch, Frank dropped into frame.
Oh,
He
not
was
his mom.
bleeding, coughing, one arm twisted beneath him, and a heavy boot stepped over him. The man. Frank looked panicked, and with a sickening squelch of meat and bone, the man beat Frank
Ew.
to death, striking his face with the crowbar. Once, twice, again. The screen flickered and it went static, but it wasn't over. After a few seconds, the tape resumed. A different house, a different Christmas, new wallpaper, new tree, quieter.
One he recognizes.
I was older now, around 3 years old, smiling, unbothered, opening a present. A toy dinosaur. Battery operated, and when I pressed its back, it roared and I grinned. From the behind the camera, do you like it? My father asked. I nodded, smiling and playing with my new friend. But in the background, just barely, almost missed, came the muffled sound of a woman crying and begging. Please, please don't hurt my baby. And then footsteps, a door opened, and the same voice from the camera yelled something down the hall or down the stairs. I didn't flinch. I just pressed the dinosaur's button again, and it roared, and I laughed, and the video ended. I sat there long after the screen went black. The camcorder was still humming, but I couldn't move. My heart felt hollow and my body cold. I kept thinking about Frank, about the woman, about the man who took me and made me call him Dad. And I kept thinking about the toy dinosaur too, because it was still in a box somewhere in my closet, my absolute favorite toy growing up. And I thought about something else, something I had not realized until now. In all those tapes, there were no other kids, not even my siblings, just me. So now I'm going to call my sister and I need to talk to her about what I watched. I want answers and I want this feeling inside to go away. I want to know what's on the other tapes. Isn't that
Oh,
good? I was like, this is good.
yeah.
That was my favorite one. And this is the one that someone a month ago said, damn, that was well done. Hopefully there will be a part two with the sister. And the creator said, happy you enjoyed. I'll keep an eye out for the part two soon. And he's telling
Oh,
everybody that there's another part. So
yeah.
yeah, I thought that one was really good. You guys, I actually read a shit ton of these, and some of them were just not giving. I was like, this is
Hmm.
not good. So yeah, I really like that one.
Yeah, that one was really good.
Creepy. Yeah.
Yay. Okay, this one does not have a title, so this one might be hard to
Okay.
can't speak. Hard to find on Reddit, but
Yeah,
it
we'll
is
see.
by initial_philosophy 43. This isn't really a paranormal story, but I remember it so well. I was young, maybe 10 or 11, and at home after school alone. I was working on my homework upstairs when someone rang the doorbell. Sometimes my friend down the street would come over, so I ran downstairs thinking it was her. There was a window above our door and it was very high up. So usually I could stand at the top of the stairs and look through it and see who was at the door at the top of their head. This time there was a man just looking through the window. It must have been about 7 feet off the ground and he was eye
Mm.
line with it. He had a very round face, I remember, and a huge smile. It was something out of a horror movie. Then my cat, who I regularly call Slutty because he is so friendly, starts growling
That's
at
funny.
him. My kitty was on the landing with me. He sees me at the top of the stair landing and just says, "Hi, I'm here to check for pests. Can you let me in?" I duck down and he says, "I saw you. I know your parents aren't home, but I need to come in." I still hear his voice very clearly. I was terrified and I run down the stairs into the kitchen and grab a phone. He keeps asking me to open the door. Finally, I tell him something like, "No, you'll have to come back another time." He won't take no for an answer, just keeps repeating himself. Then I tell him I'm going to call the police, all politeness out the window. He says something about me being rude and that I'm stopping him from doing his job. I keep repeating that he will call the police, and he finally starts just screaming and cursing at me. And finally, he slams his hand as hard as he can into the door. I start dialing, and he runs off, calling me a bitch. I
Wow,
don't finish
classy.
the I don't finish calling the police and sit near our front door until my parents come home. I didn't even know what bitch meant. Didn't tell them because I
LOL.
thought he'd get in trouble. Definitely not as scary as others here, but I remember it so clearly. His weird smile, his head was perfectly round, and how he was so tall.
Ew.
I was really short as a kid.
Interesting. I like that that one leaves a lot to
Yeah.
imagination. It's like, it really
Yeah,
could
I
be
think that
anything.
one's probably a real one too. Like they
Mm-hmm.
were actually standing there looking outside and they saw a very tall
Yeah, because
man that was
who's
being weird.
who's writing 26 paragraphs of a story that's a real story? I'm like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
No, that's really good. And by the way, I did find it on Reddit.
Oh, you
I
did?
yeah, and actually it's archived, but they reposted it in the comments, so it's still there.
Oh,
Yes. So you guys, I'll link all of these in the description, every story, if you guys want to go
yay.
check those out. But wow, that was really fun. And that brought us to an hour. It's like back in the day, a long
I
episode for you
know.
guys for starting off October right.
I know I had to correct since my first one was so long. I was like, let me do a shorter one. That's still kind of scary for the second.
I know. When I was reading some of them, they can get long as heck, dude.
Yes.
It's
But
really crazy.
then there were some that were like 3 sentences, and I was like, that is
Right? Like that's
unhelpful.
not a story,
Yeah.
sister. That ain't it. No, it's so true. Well, I hope
But
you
I
guys
hope that got you
enjoyed.
into this spooky, spooky mood.
Yes. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for our next October episode,
Hmm, hmm.
coming out in 2 weeks, as you guys know, our new cadence. So yeah, I think that's it. I think we can let you guys go. Please, if you have a spooky story though, let us know. Please write it to us or DM us and let us know that you have one. We can chat. If you want to come on the podcast and tell your spooky story, that'd be super fun. So yeah, if you're a spooky story, someone who holds a spooky story, please let us know. I
If
feel like
you
that'd be
are
fun.
a spooky
If you
story,
are spooky, hit us
yeah,
up.
hit us up.
Anyways, follow us to stay up to date, you guys, on Instagram at We Run on Coffee. That's where we post all the things we will be posting about this episode, obviously. And stay tuned for the If You Know You Know stories because there's going to be lots of good
Mhm,
stuff on
mhm,
there
mhm.
today. I took
Yes.
notes. That's when you know
Yeah.
that they're going to be good. So that is all. And we will see you guys for our next October episode. Bye.
Bye.
And with that, I'm Erica.
And I'm Marissa.
And
And
we
we
run
run
on
on
coffee.
coffee.